Good morning. Today I am going to be speaking with Christine Eberle. She is the author of the book Finding God in Ordinary Time. Most recently, she was the director of campus ministry at Gwynedd Mercy University in Philadelphia, and she is going to talk to me about her book and about Easter and what some of her ideas are for observing Easter in the home. So, thank you for joining me today. Hi, Christine.
Hey, Lynn. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. I was thinking about how we met, which is you were a customer in my bookstore, Open Book Bookstore, and we got to know each other that way. And I remember you talking about someday I want to write a book, and then I'm going on a retreat, and I'm working on the book, and then my book is published. And then we had a party for you, and I think sold more copies than any other event we ever had. So it was really exciting for me to watch this trajectory. Can you talk a little bit about that, about what brought you to write this book and why it was important to you?
Sure. Well, the book is called.
Yes, and it's so beautiful. I love it.
Because I didn't design the cover, I can say yes, it is. So Finding God in Ordinary Time is 4 weeks of daily meditations based on true stories. It takes readers through 4 what I call terrains, where the presence of God can be experienced in our regular lives. The wonders of the created world and surprising encounters with strangers, disorienting experiences of travel, poignant moments of life transition. It's grounded, because I'm a graduate of 2 Jesuit colleges, it's grounded in what's called Ignatian spirituality. Okay, Ignatius of Loyola said 500 years ago, we can find God in all things. So that's where the Finding God in the title comes from.
Okay.
And Ordinary Time, it's a Christian liturgical season, but it's also life. It's just regular life. And having been a college campus minister for so many years, I really like using the power of stories to help people figure out how they can connect with God in their regular, ordinary lives.
Okay, thank you. And you do that so beautifully in the book. You really do. So Easter is coming up, and so I wanted to specifically talk to you about Easter. Tell me what Easter means to you.
Sure. I think of Easter as a season of stories. We, through Holy Week, which is Palm Sunday, which is now next Sunday, through Easter Sunday, we walk through the stories of the sort of most pivotal events at the end of Jesus' life, his Last Supper and his arrest and execution and, well, the waiting and the resurrection. And, when you and I were just talking on your front steps the other day, you were saying that Passover, is the beauty of Passover is that it's celebrated at home. Right. For Easter and Holy Week, especially in the Catholic tradition, it is a really church-focused celebration.
Yes.
Every day there are different rituals that are long and beautiful and that we only do once a year.
Okay.
And so we're missing that this year.
Right. So.
Yeah, and for me as a church cantor, also, there are beautiful songs we only do once a year that we're not getting to sing.
Oh.
That kind of hurts my heart.
Okay, so that's hard. That feels like loss.
Yeah.
And your book is about finding God in ordinary time, and these are not ordinary times. So given that you are going to miss those beautiful ceremonies and songs, do you have suggestions for ways to observe Easter from home?
Well, there are 2 things that I was thinking about. And the first is the obvious, technology. It is amazing that this is happening, that the era of coronavirus is also the era of streaming technology.
Yes.
So, most churches are streaming something. And the Archdiocese of Philadelphia, as a matter of fact, has said, all these services are still to happen. And they're to happen with the absolute minimum number of ministers possible.
Yes.
And if possible, they're to be live streamed. And so, for example, on Easter Sunday, I get to go into church and be one of the 4 people at St. Vincent de Paul in Germantown, cantoring the 9 o'clock Easter Sunday service.
Well, that will be a different kind of special experience for
Yes, it will. I think I'm going to be more self-conscious than usual.
I just want to interrupt. Did you see the photograph of the Pope in St. Peter's Square all by himself.
himself.
What a
Like, oh,
beautiful image, though. It
it
was really
really,
powerful.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So people can live stream. They can live stream their own church or have the really interesting experience of streaming the Vatican or somebody else's church or a different Christian traditions worship
Okay.
services.
Okay.
There's all kinds of things we can do.
Okay.
But the second thing I think is finding a way to keep the days holy by sort of doing things that are in keeping with the meaning of that particular day. So just to run through it. So Holy Thursday, Jesus' Last Supper with his friends. Maybe this is not the night to eat lean cuisine on the couch watching reality television. You know, even if you're alone, maybe this is a time to make a special meal and to eat it gratefully.
Okay.
You know,
That's beautiful.
yeah. We also Holy Thursday. We also commemorate in ritual Jesus washing the feet of his disciples. Is there some menial task we can do for somebody else as a sign of our love? And seriously, I'm talking about cleaning the bathroom here. You know, that's our Holy Thursday
Come to
observance.
my house, please.
Sorry, social distancing. You know, Good Friday, traditionally noon to 3 are the hours we think of as the hours Jesus was on the cross. I remember when I was a kid, those hours were either at church or home having no fun. Is there something quiet we can do? You know, can we read one of the Passion accounts? Can we, whatever we're doing, just, you know, ditch the electronics, you know, just be.
Read your book.
Or read my book. Yes, yes, absolutely. You know, Holy Saturday is the Easter Vigil, Saturday night, the time we are all vigiling together usually. And, you know, Saturday night, I think of as kind of a movie night. At least in our house, it's a movie night.
Okay.
If you're going to pick a movie, pick something meaningful, maybe. PBS just came out with a documentary about the life of Dorothy Day
Yes.
called, that's a note I have to check.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's a new book about her as well.
Ooh, is there?
Yep.
Revolution of the Heart is the name of the documentary. Do you know the name of the book?
No, but it's a new biography of hers.
Lovely, lovely.
Yes.
So there's that new one. There's also sort of old faves of mine. Romero, The Mission, Schindler's List would be a pretty cool one to watch. Or The Two Popes, if you haven't seen The Two Popes yet. You know, that could be a thing to do. Yeah, it's a good one. It's funny.
Okay.
And then Easter Sunday, gosh, get outside. You know, this is the day we celebrate the triumph of life over death. And there's nothing like the world in spring to really call that to mind. You know, the sight of the flowers blooming and the trees budding and the air smells so good. Just really breathe in that hope and optimism, knowing that this very strange time we're in is not going to last forever.
It's beautiful. Thank you. You're making me teary. Well, I know that in these times you've been doing audio files and reading parts of your book,
Yes,
which I've really enjoyed. And I wonder if I could ask you to do a reading for us right now.
sure.
Okay, I'm going to turn the camera over to you and let you read.
All right.
There you go.
Thank you. So what I would like to read, given what I just said about being out in nature, is the introduction to my section, my week 1, that is about finding God in the wonders of the created world. It's called Awake to See is the section. Okay. And here's what I say. The heavens declare the glory of God, Psalm 19 proclaims. If you have ever seen the stars on a clear night beyond the reach of light pollution, you know what this means. I will never forget the first time I went camping. Grumbling my way out of the tent for a 3 a.m. call of nature, pun intended, I was stunned into silence by the beauty that awaited me just outside the canvas flap. Had the earth relocated? Surely the stars had never been this bright or this close or this many. If I were interviewing God for the job of creator and said, "Can I see a sample of your work?" this would have been the ideal thing to pull from the divine portfolio. When the Bible is confusing, the denominational voices conflicting, or the inner wisdom fleeting, Just go outside. Want to know how God feels about diversity? Look at a field of wildflowers. Wonder if God has a sense of humor? Consider the pelican. Not really sure you get this whole resurrection business? Notice the determined shoots of the first flowers of spring pushing through the frozen ground of winter's last stand. With God's fingerprints all over it, nature is an endless source of spiritual insight.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your beautiful words, your inspiring words, and for talking with me.
Thank you. And thank you for what you're doing now, Lynn. I'm so excited to follow all this new stuff you're doing.
Thank you.
Wait till I can get back in the store.
Thank you. Be well.
Thanks, Lynn.
Happy
Bye-bye.
Easter.
Thank you. Good Passover.
Thank you. Bye.